I mean, a billion's nothing these days, right? He wants to call these private monsters dragons. Dan Primack is with us now. Dan, what is a dragon?
All right, so you're right. Look, $1 billion isn't nothing, and you can't scoff at it. If I had created a company worth $1 billion, I'd be pretty happy. A dragon, though, the way at least we're defining it is $12 billion valuation after you've subtracted the money they actually raised from venture capitalists, because some of these companies have raised over $1 billion.
I like that you have it, not to be distracted entirely by your background, but you do have a unicorn.
And I've told my daughter she needs to paint a dragon. That is on the weekend.
Yeah, it's on the to-do list, I'm sure. What happens to, I mean, Guy has made this point, Dan, that there are so many unicorns out there. It's sort of, it undermines the whole term unicorn, because unicorn should be a rare mythical beast, not a common one. And it's become a common thing in the financial markets now to have unicorns. So what happens with unicorn valuations overall?
I mean, guys, right. There's over 800 of them as of last week, so-called unicorn companies. That's global, not just in the U.S. Of these dragons, the way we define them, I think we said there was 19 of them globally, half in the U.S. I mean, look, these companies are still going to go public. There's no shame in going public as a $2 or $3 billion company. There's tons of them. The pipeline is full of them. The real question, though, is kind of when those dragons go, because those are the huge ones, the ones that really move markets. Kind of if you think back to when Facebook went public, it was a unicorn when that actually meant something. So these other companies, Stripe, SpaceX, companies like that, when they go public, it'll be something that all of Wall Street watches. What
unicorn is in the pipeline at this point, Dan? I mean, sorry, dragon. Sorry.
Which dragon? Sorry, there's not that many of them that are technically in the pipeline to officially go public. One of the reasons companies have been able to grow to this size is because they've waited. Take Stripe and SpaceX, right? They've been around a long time. They could go public at the drop of a hat. They've actively chosen not to.
Dan, I think a lot of the function of, the fact that they're now unicorns are seemingly everywhere is the fact that liquidity is all over the place. SPACs, obviously, so many SPACs out there, so few targets. Is that a function of this as well, just driving up valuations, maybe unjustifiably?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, the reality is if you're a venture capitalist and you're the ones who are really driving up the valuations, right, in the private markets, generally speaking, you've gotten paid for driving up the valuations. There hasn't been any harm in it. SPACs is a piece of that. It's certainly inflating it, but IPOs have as well. I mean, most companies that have gone public or tried to go public via an IPO have done so successfully and have done so at a really good premium to where they were trading in the private market. Several years ago, Guy, you might remember there was a bunch of SaaS companies that kind of went public and then underperformed and became what we kind of called undercorns at the time, billion-dollar companies that came under that. We're not seeing that anymore.
Just curious, Dan, were there any other mythical beasts that were in the running besides dragon? I mean, was Chimera in there, for instance? Or, I mean, what were you thinking of?
I've been made fun of a little bit on Twitter today by Aaron Griffith, who wrote the Age of Unicorn story with me at Fortune magazine years ago, who talked about all the other things, including mosquitoes she put in there. So there was a few things. But look, dragons are rare. They destroy kind of everything in their path, and they're known for hoarding wealth.
It's a good one. I think it's catchy. Dan, thank you.